unannounced WrestleMania 38 match plans have been revealed. We got a potential spoiler on more WWE Hall of Fame inductees, and a released WWE star has taken a shot at the company's creative direction, so stay tuned. WrestleMania 38 is fast approaching. It's what, 3 and a bit weeks away now?
Scary,
it's
innit?
inching closer and closer. And the card is filling up pretty nicely, it's got to be said. There's some big matches on there, but there are a fair few matches that haven't been announced, titles that aren't yet on the line.
Yeah, notable by their absence.
Yeah, for sure. And we've got some unannounced WrestleMania 38 matches, some plans from Dave Meltzer at the Wrestling Observer newsletter. First off, the US title match. Finn Balor, new champion, is set to take on Damian Priest at the show. I think it's to sort of be expected and everything.
It'll be a good match.
Maybe, because I feel like they've cooled off a little bit on Priest. Maybe this is to give him a big WrestleMania win against a top guy like Finn.
Not that he super needs it, but he could do with like a big featured Mania moment.
WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
TM. Apparently this is a shocker, there's no real direction for IC champion Ricochet. Obviously Ricochet taking that belt from Sami Zayn very recently because Sami's doing the stuff with Knoxville. But he does note that Sheamus is the top guy on the brand that nothing has been started for, so he's not really got anything to do, so it's looking like Sheamus.
They'll just announce that he's in Rio and he's actually lost the IC belt to another promotion and it's gone forever.
So 17 seconds this time? That would be nice.
Oh, God.
Trim a second off. The SmackDown Tag title match, the plan is the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Although that might change and other teams might be added to that. New Day, Raiders.
They love a multi-man scramble tag madness moment, don't they?
And there's a few potential ones here, in fact, as we continue. On the Raw tag side, Randy Orton and Riddle are going to be facing the Street Profits. We've sort of seen that kick off anyway on TV. But it also could end up being a three-way, so another multi-man with Chad Gable and Otis added, which I'd quite like to see. It does sort of feel like not concrete plans, so throw as much poo at the wall and some will stick in some of these cases.
But then some of it might also fall off before Mania and it'll be like, oh, actually, those two teams work. Let's take that team out and do this instead. So maybe it's still maybe just quite up in the air, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And also the women's tag title match is scheduled as a 4-team match, and the fourth team will apparently involve Natalya, but they haven't decided on her partner.
Just pick one. Just pick
Brett.
one, right?
Why not? Let's get Brett back.
Well, AEW are making overtures, so
that's true.
WWE just...
So they want Natalya on the card.
Yeah.
For some reason, no, they want Natalya on the card. I don't like Natalya.
I think that they'll find something for Natty, like for sure. There's.
They don't have a clue what to do.
They don't have a clue what to do with the
They
belts,
haven't since
but
they started.
they've kind of had Natty in and around it. She's a good pair of hands, and she
is. She's a good pair of hands. Say no more. Heading over to the Hall of Fame, some already big names have been announced for that. Obviously, Undertaker headlining this year. This is an absolute shocker.
Oh, I can't. The lights are different. I could turn those ones on, but we could.
What are you doing?
We're doing it. Keep talking.
What are you doing? He's doing something.
Keep talking.
Oh my God, he's changing the colour of the light. I don't know what's going on. So, right, he's almost there. This is going to mess up the rest of the lighting. Can't wait for this, Sam. Keep going. Right, you've got Undertaker on there so far. Andrew Zarian reporting this week that Sid is due for induction. Yeah. He didn't even show up. I thought you were going to bring him closer.
You want me to bring them closer?
Oh God.
Just the big flashes?
Yeah. Can you see that? Maybe there's strobing. Okay, right. Because the big bad Booty Daddy, the Duty Daddy, and the dog-faced gremlin apparently have been talked about, which is absolutely bonkers because especially Scott not on good terms with the company. They don't really talk about Bron Breakker's daddy being the dog-faced gremlin, although they have acknowledged it because they uploaded that clip to their YouTube channel after Bron won the title and then Rick came out. So although Dave said here that they don't acknowledge it, that wasn't just some old bloke getting in the ring. That is his dad.
Vince tried his best to downplay it, but when Rick was stood there shouting, "He came from my loins," and pointing at his crotch, watch. There wasn't really much they could do.
So that would be a shocker, to say the least,
God,
because like Scott Steiner over the years has buried everybody at that company, especially Vincent Trips as well.
Look, when they had Cornette induct the Rock and Roll, it was like, oh God, Cornette and a live mic, but Scott Steiner is like Scott Steiner with a live mic. Nah, there's no way.
Yes.
It'll be amazing.
Come on.
Absolutely amazing.
I really, really want that to happen.
Oh God,
Time will tell.
And he just goes off script. I'd love it. Brings out a tiger.
It's being talked about. It'll be talked about more after it happens.
It'll be talked
that's
about for decades,
right? So a big moment. There's your real WrestleMania.
It's like, you know, when Father Ted wins the Golden Cleric, Scott's just going to have this massive stack of paper just burying every person.
Give him 4 hours. Give him 6. Give him as much as he wants.
Give him Mania Night 2.
Anyway, on to released WWE star now. Lindsay Dorado has appeared on Renee Paquette's podcast talking about why he quit WWE. And it's an interesting quote. He said, I said, this is not for me because you're not fulfilling me creatively. For somebody who loves pro wrestling, the job is very frustrating because WWE is not a wrestling company. They're a movie company. Ooh. I mean, Vince McMahon says that himself. He doesn't do wrestling.
Well,
we
make movies. Even
right?
back as far as Ted Turner. Hi, Vince, I'm in the wrestling business. And he goes, I'm in the entertainment business, and hangs up.
I kept going home and bringing home back that frustration, taking that frustration back on my family and being so secluded, just not wanting to be around everybody, even to the point of my kids. They know not to watch my matches. They don't watch my matches because daddy loses. They're so numb to wrestling because of that feeling. It's just frustrating. With all that, I was like, you know what? F that. I would never jeopardize my family's integrity and mood because I feel like I'm not getting what I deserve or what we deserved. So to me, there are sort of two sides to the coin here. That does suck for him because he wasn't using. He's a tremendously talented pro wrestler. But at the same time, and maybe I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit here, he knew what he was signing up for. This isn't a new thing with Vince and his creative direction for the company and that whole like, oh yeah, we make movies. Come on, that's
it feels very much though, whenever you hear Pritchard shoot it down on his podcast where it's like, oh, like Conrad go, well, he said he was supposed to be champion. He'd be like, no, that's what he wanted to hear. And it just very much sounds like whenever WWE signs people, historically, it seems like they kind of get promised the absolute world, the keys to the kingdom, you know, and it's everything you want to hear is being said. And then you kind of go, all right, well, if you're going to change, and then they just don't change.
Yeah, I admire Lindsay. I don't want to sound like I'm slanging him off here because to put his family's happiness over a guaranteed paycheck,
it just makes him an amazing person.
Yeah, that's really cool. So maybe I've been a bit hard there, but at the same time, you sort of know what you're getting into when you sign a WWE contract. Apologies, Lindsay. We are finishing with Maven news. WWE Ruthless Aggression star making an in-ring comeback. Former WWE star Maven has been announced
for season 1 winner. Maven.
Apologies, beater of the Undertaker, Maven. Joey Janela has announced him for the Spring Break show in April at Fair Park in Dallas, tweeting the announcement. And he's going to be a contestant in the Cluster F, which is a Royal Rumble with pins and submissions. Maven did appear recently helping out Matt Cardona at an indie show back in February, but he's making a proper in-ring return here.
I'm all for it, you know. It's what we've said before on the news where it's like, you can have a Goldberg come back. Yeah, you can have a Steve Austin come back. And it's huge. It is big when it first happens. But with the Goldberg thing just dragging on for so long, it feels like much more fun when it's random people.
I remember when Glacier was announced on, and I was just like, that's so cool. That's really awesome. So it is like these people that disappear for a while and then you hear that they're back and quite often they're in amazing shape and everything. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it?
They're always the ones when you sat in the pub, because you'll sit in the pub and say Goldberg hadn't come back, we'd all be sat there going, what's Bill Goldberg up to? Oh, he's got that show on Amazon, doesn't he?
Yeah, they're doing all sorts.
Yeah, the ones where you get back and you're like sat there going like, what's this person doing? And nobody has an answer. either. Like it's
somebody should make videos about it, like a Where Are They Now series with like a catchy jingle or something like that, so people know where they are now. The playlist is on the channel. Before we go, another bit of a plug for WrestleCrate, who we've teamed up with. You can get an exclusive Cultaholic item in this month's crate. You've only got a few days to do it. The link's in the description, wrestlecrate.co.uk. Use code Cultaholic. You get the exclusive item, but not just that. In your first month, you get 2 for the price of 1. They put another crate in your crate, double the items, double the fun. WrestleCrate.co.uk. We get a few quid for it as well, so please feel free to do so. WrestleCrate.co.uk. Use code Cultaholic at checkout.
get your stuff.
Get your stuff.